Welcome. So my last sketchbook tour for a while here. These are from my old ones, and I don't think I'll be doing a whole lot more of these because I don't have a whole lot of sketchbooks left. But this one I did old drawings in when I was in college, and so I'll show you some of these. And again, square art book, sketchbook, and I also filled it in from the back. So I started going backwards using both front and back of pages, something I normally never would do, but I can't wait to show you what I'm working on recently. So let's check out this last one from the olden days. I had taken a storyboarding class with a Mark Swan, who had worked on some of my favorite Disney movies that I grew up watching, and other animated movies like The Land Before Time and Fievel, An American Tail. But yeah, we'd come up with a character. Instead of Jack and the Beanstalk, it was Jack and the Beamstalk. And so drew a couple of interesting characters for that. Really like this one. Mark didn't like it because it was very flat looking, and I agree, it's super flat looking. The only thing that's not flat looking is this little like fairy character. Look how she's leaning forward on this ball. Looks like a Quidditch ball, kind of. And big, probably inspired by, so this is the giant Jack and the Beanstalk. Here's the giant, it's a big robot, of course. Lots of things influencing this style here. Different scenes, different takes on what Jack might look like, and some storyboarding attempts. Check it out. I really don't do a whole lot of storyboarding in this way with these lines, but these were fun little attempts to try it out and try to make things work. Another couple of attempts right here. This is a short film that got about as far as these almost finished 4 frames for the story, and I did nothing more to complete it. That's the story of my life. Always starting stuff, but when I get bored, don't finish it. Maybe this was someone that I'd seen. I don't think so. I mean, definitely not someone posing for me in a classroom or anything, but in college, definitely probably inspired by someone that I'd seen in passing. This is an adorable bear-like character. To be honest, this is so not my style. I'm pretty sure that this was created by Mark Swan himself in my own art book. What's he doing? Stay out of my art book. Cyclops, some attempts at drawing like the circles, right? I'm trying to do the figure before I fill it all in. The pose wasn't terribly strong, especially with the legs, but it's kind of fun. We're working on something. Little attempts by probably me and someone else, maybe Mark Strong, getting in my notebook again, like always. I'm working my way backwards now. So let this be the beginning of more recent sketches that I can share with you. So let's start with this one. So, good thing I keep notes like this. So starting from the back, I'm going to fill in my sketchbooks. 2020, going back. Here we go. Yep, Totoro, my little boy's favorite movie, probably. Now this is based on something I had seen someone draw on YouTube. I think giant mecha robot holding in the palm of his hand a girl. She's just sitting right in the palm of his hand. This one holding a cape. I'm sorry, not a cape, a flag. And just lots of fun detail there. I mean, her face, super fun. His face, very generic, not very quality looking. A lot more detail than I ever intended on drawing in this, but it's interesting to see how when you draw something on one side, you know exactly what to come up with on the opposite side. and you know, some little details like stickers or whatever, symbols, different gears, flames or exhaust coming out the back. You know, you just kind of go back and forth. When you have something here, you just draw the opposite right there. So machinery, something I could work on a little bit more, something that I just started a little bit of. An attempt of a boy, just recently. I sketched this one, and you'll see I sketched quite a bit recently. This one's great. I think I talked about this one in my portfolio, but this is a mixed race person with light blonde hair, super curly, drawing. You don't get to see what she's drawing, but you get to see a little bit of her shape. It's been really fun to draw the figure as it exists in the most basic form, and then draw clothing on top of it and decide what goes and what stays. And you know, I lost some things in this process, some details in the body, but I kept some of them, right? The space in between the arm and the chest here, the pucker of the pants right here, the size of the hips, to show she's not an incredibly perfectly skinny girl, which is just right. This is awesome to see that kind of natural look. The only thing I super failed on was this hand. That just did not work out very well, did it? This looks like a sad pose. You know, there's a couple of sad poses. These ones didn't necessarily represent anything. Had nothing to do with events or based on any particular feelings, but I was just trying to go for kind of an awkward laying position, hair messy over the hands, over the arm, and someone coming to assist in some way or another. So that's kind of fun. Let's see. Check it out. Mega Man attempts, all from memory. Super fun. And maybe not even from memory, but you know, armor from memory, but the style, the mouth, just based on what I had seen in the past. So that's kind of fun. This is slightly more realistic Mega Man design there. Really like the look of Mega Man. He's just a fun character. This is a portrait of my little boy, thinking about his very last bite, and I like how his finger is just sort of popped up. His pinky is like being held up. He, like me, doesn't like to get too dirty, and so peanut butter and jelly, it's kind of a messy meal. I was trying to draw some sort of figure here, and ended up only drawing this little guy. One of my friend's favorites. It's kind of like a monkey monk creature, wise guy. Very interesting. Like it. Oops, don't mean to shake the camera. From memory, recently seen an image of Legend of Zelda, the old drawings for Link to the Past, and that turned out pretty fun. Not sure I got everything perfectly anatomically just right, but definitely like the looks on their faces, and you know, there's a surprising amount of detail that made it really satisfying. Because I don't really draw things that I get to do all the time. I tend to draw things that I miss in a way. That's what I used to do when I was younger, and I kind of recognize that now with drawing some video game characters. It's like the nostalgia surrounding the feeling, not necessarily the gameplay of video games, but another Legend of Zelda attempt there. Let's see. All right. House drawing. Me and my wife, my little boy, coming up with where things are in the house. Let's see. I think this is based on possibly someone that I met in Moldova. I think so. Turned out pretty fun. All done in pencil, of course. Lots of detail, lots of shading in this, but all soft lights on it. This is also super fun. I think based on the nostalgia of Legend of Zelda. There's always fairies in this fantasy world. And, you know, my wife said, I just thought it looked like a pretty girl, but the way I look at it is fairies are very alien. They're very foreign. They're unnaturally skinny. I mean, let's take a look at the distance between legs right here. I mean, just like not a whole lot of tissue on the bones at all. And the angle and the shape and the strangeness of the long fingers. It's the whole thing, this existence where you don't necessarily have to touch anything, but you can fly around. Kind of lends itself to this creepiness aspect of this humanoid creature that is a fairy. It's not exactly like a human. You know, unlike Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell on the movie Hook, opposite Robin Williams, I don't think that fairies would normally look like that. This is a drawing from that old, like, the woodland folk meet the giants or the elves or something, old books back from the 80s. And I had never drawn any of them. I was always fascinated by those books just because of the artwork, the characters, and never really read them much because they were kind of boring reads for children. But the artwork was fantastic, so props to the artist. And he's, you know, being mischievous and getting ready to squirt something through the keyhole if someone looks in to try to fix it. Let's keep moving on this way. Oh yeah, so this is a character first attempt of a character I'm designing for a film pitch. Some fun ones coming around here. Some attempts at angled or wide angle lenses here. Nothing really complete. Kind of bailed on that one pretty early. This one was based on, let me see if I can remember her name, Lois VB, if you Lois VB on Instagram. Artist, super good. Teaches you a lot about shapes and characters, but just based on one of her drawings that I drew in Photoshop, and then later on that day, without referencing anything, just from, you know, hand memory and visual memory, drew a similar face, not the same hair, but similar face. And what I like about this artist the most is how the lips reach the chin super early. The nose overwhelms the lips, and yet the lips are very big and plump. And there's always this like very angled, what's the word? Curious eye or mischievous eye here. This hand is my hand. I just did it based on my hand, just looking at it, and I thought that added some delicacy of the shoulders angled up. She's reclining in some way, shape, or fashion, but leaving it minimal where she just fades away. It's really satisfying to attempt to draw like that artist. Yes, my attempt to sketch a portrait of my wife, who posed for me, did not get the proportions correctly. So in Photoshop, I changed some things about the where the head was positioned, and because of the angle here, the legs kind of shrunk when they shouldn't have, and so I changed the size of some things there. Oh, and this is kind of fun. I don't know where this came from. Just from imagination. Came up with this like princess character putting on her crown. Probably inspired by Frozen because my little boy loves the Frozen films. But I love the angle of the feet. I love the angle looking kind of down at a 45 degree, maybe not quite 45 degree, maybe a 50, 60 degree angle on her. I don't know on what degree, but anyway, she's balancing her crown, and as the wind's blowing, her skirt and her hair. I thought that was lovely. Ah, yes, the pilot, called this one the pilot. Sitting on the wing of a plane, did some pretty outrageous amount of detail for what I typically do on the background and in the clothing. I think his head's definitely a little too big, but I definitely like the look on his face, so wouldn't want to change too much about that. Definitely like the shading under this armor. Definitely like the crinkle of the clothing. Definitely like these square spikes that come up into pyramids, which are shaded pretty well right there. Helmet, it's kind of fun. But yeah, anyway, the other one I did, I just, again, copying, what's his name? Max Berthelot. Okay, not sure how to say his full name there. But a great artist, and I really love how he displays things on Instagram. Well, I try not to spend a whole lot of time seeking out inspiration from Instagram or online necessarily. But I just really loved the posture, and I don't think I captured it very well. There's her behind right here, leaning on, there's her knee right there, her leg and thigh disappear under this like leg cape, and her stomach, not like a completely skinny physique. I definitely made the head longer than I should have. The nose didn't work out quite perfectly, but a lot of these details just came together just like I saw it, and added some of my own ideas to make it a little bit different, or to have different aspects stand out. And anyway, that was fun practice when it came to looking at observing lots of different detail in a character design. I think that's from Chrono Cross, apparently. Let's see, what else here we got? Attempting a different angle on maybe self-portrait, with legs outstretched into the distance, someone nearby looking at him in crossed legs, and then over here, this was kind of fun. This was the first time I did the square block head, block body, block waist drawing of a figure, and it was supposed to mean it was looking down at her a little bit better than it turned out to be. This is more straight on, and her head is just sort of tilted down. But I really like how the style turned out. It was really cool. A little bit hard lines on the face, but the posture turned out really good, and gave her a sports companion there. She's maybe got some sort of racket of some sort, and he's got the ball. Sweatband, and extremely tall and skinny, but somewhat muscular. Really thought these characters were super fun, and I think that's it. That's all I got so far. So thank you for watching. Yep, little piece by my little boy, probably a train or something. But yes, thank you for watching. Please tune in next time when I draw more stuff and share with you what I come up with. There's some more loose drawings floating around here. Let me throw a couple of those in here, because I don't want to leave it just hanging. But this was a costume design that I did. Lots of fun, different details of this character. Profile angle, straight on angle, fix the size of the head, the hair, definitely based on Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle. The clothing kind of has a Celtic influence. Someone said that it kind of reminds them of a show I've yet to see, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Still not watched that cartoon, but then I named what should be what color. But there's a lot of fun detail in here. Look at the loose straps around there. This like leather strap that holds the skirt together. Just this black thing over the chest with these different clasps, and of course my favorite part probably is the pointy-toed shoes, which are super fun. that's one, and let me share with you one other one here. A couple of attempts at some figures here based on something I saw on Instagram. And again, something based on something just from memory that I saw on Instagram of a girl fighting a guy and kicking and fighting with them, and I didn't quite capture the action. I seem to not be getting very close to that action right here. I do like the idea that they're both struggling. She's kicking him in the face. He's got her by the neck, but she's still being strong. And my favorite here is definitely the look on her face, the angle on the nose and the mouth, and the shading leading up to the eye from the nose. Very messy, sketchy, and she looks like she's a pretty tough girl. Really dig that one. Thought that one turned out pretty cool. So that's it. Again, please subscribe, hit that like button and the bell if you want to keep watching what I come up with. I definitely will be sharing some ideas and tips and tricks, but I definitely want to hear from you. If you have any comments, please write them down below. Let me know if you want me to do anything in particular. I'd love to share and learn and grow with you, because this year, if you didn't catch any of my other videos, this is the first year I've really participated in drawing on a screen tablet in Photoshop. The XP pen has been just a delight. Maybe I'll do a little review of that for someone who's really returning to art in a lot of ways, and show you the different programs that I've been using for my career, which is filmmaking. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys later.